neither the teachers nor the children have had this experience before.
Yeah.
So it opens up new horizons for children that have got no opportunity in this area. When I see the children lapping it up and getting really excited, I mean, that makes it all worthwhile.
How important is it to have arts education in our schools?
One person who thinks it's important is our special guest today, Mr. Peter Barker, who set up his own charity, Classical Music Rocks.
Welcome, Peter.
Okay, everybody, hello. I'm Peter Barker from Classical Music Rocks, a charity for giving children the chance of listening to classical music in the UK.
Why did you start Classical Music Rocks?
Well, it's quite simple. I started going to concerts in King's Lynn. They've got a prestigious music festival there. And it's very, very popular, but it's attended by people who are older than I am. You know, and I just thought, hang on, I'm one of the youngsters here. So what are the chances are for young people? There weren't any in the audience. Because I've loved classical music all my life, I just thought, well, you know, I'm going to have to do something about it. Simple as that.
What kind of organisation is it?
Well, basically, it is a charity. So there's no money that is being made out of this. I mean, I'm not driving a posher car as a result of running this charity. It's a public service organisation bringing my fabulous team of a dozen brilliant classical musicians directly into children's schools. It's fantastic to see it happening.
How did you find musicians?
One day I was at a King's Lynn festival concert and I met this woman who played the violin absolutely brilliantly. She invited me to see her in London, which I did, and I put these ideas to her. And she agreed to help me get this moving in King's Lynn and West Norfolk. And she was a fabulously helpful person. And of course, because she was such a brilliant musician, we had wonderful credibility right from the very beginning. And I just built on that, really. And she introduced me to about 3 or 4 other musicians who helped set the ball rolling. And then after that, guess what? An ignoramus like me selected the other musicians.
Wow, impressed.
Are they local Norfolk?
No, they're nearly all of them from London. So they have to travel all the way up here. We do pay them, of course, I should mention this. We pay a good rate, but these are top of the range classical musicians. We've got a wonderful international diverse mix of people from Greece, from Poland. We've got 2 ladies who have come from Taiwan. We've got a Swedish theobo player who's absolutely brilliant. Our pianist at the moment, really, Siobhan. Her background is a mixture of Malta and Ireland.
How many children do you reach in a year?
We do about 20 to 25 days of visits, and on each day of visits, our musicians will reach actually about 300 children. So it means in the course of a year, we'll get to about 5,000 or 6,000 children.
What do the teachers and children make of it?
For them, it's a great novel experience because actually neither the teachers nor the children have had this experience before. I don't see young teachers in the King's Lynn Festival, you know, 40s, 50 years old. They're just not there. So it's a wonderful experience for the children who really get very, very excited and roar their approval of the musicians. But the teachers get really excited as well. We haven't actually had any failures. Every single event since 2016 has been hugely well received.
How do the musicians get the children to participate?
They start off by introducing them to their instruments. They tell them about these instruments, they explain the history a bit. They play some excerpts of classical music, not too long, 3-4 minutes, maybe that. And then they invite the responses from the children. What did that make you feel? Were you happy? Were you relaxed? Did it frighten you? Did you enjoy it? And of course, the kids are full of lovely comments.
Why do you think it's so important that people experience this at an early age?
Well, I think it's because at an early age, all of us are very, very receptive to new things. They can take it on board marvellously well in a way which is actually more problematic for children when they get to 11 and 12 and they're thinking classical music isn't cool. But I mean, we had one young man who watched our musicians doing a performance of the Nutcracker, and of the flute player, he said, "Wow, why do we need an orchestra when you can play the flute as well as that?"
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, and this was a kid who said he hadn't previously enjoyed classical music. So it opens up new horizons for children that have got no opportunity in this area. I mean, we're a remote, rural community, a long way from London.
Do you think there's something about experiencing these things live as opposed to recorded that can inspire children more than maybe watching a DVD or listening to a CD or, however else you might get it?
Well, the key to it is that these musicians walk into these schools to see these children. It's for them, and they know it's for them. The musicians have made the effort. You cannot beat a live performance. Zoom, I mean, it's really pretty good, but it's no comparison to live music. And the teachers we've asked, they say, "Oh, you're Zooming now. When can you come back and do this live, face to face with the children and the teachers?" That's what they want to hear.
There is definitely something about a group of people being in a room having a shared experience of the arts, like whatever art that is, I think. That's
You
kind
can't
of magical.
Absolutely right, yes.
We know UK schools have been closed or are limiting visitors. How have you coped?
I mean, having said that live performances beat everything, which they do, nevertheless, we've exploited the opportunity of Zoom, for example, to bring the instruments closer to the children. We put a little mobile phone camera inside a grand piano so that the children can hear the musician, enjoy the music, and at the same time, they can see how the sound is made. And of course, the other thing that we've done is to show the children a harp. If you've got 150 children in the assembly hall looking at a harp, well, they can hear the music, but they can't really see the instrument. And so that can be demonstrated much better through Zoom. So there are some pluses. Yeah, I'd be stupid to say Zoom, the whole crisis of the pandemic, it's been very difficult to work our way through that. But we are doing so. We've had some great feedback about our Zoom performances. But please come back and see us in person. When can you do that?
Tell us your plans for the coming year.
We've got some great plans. We've got the musicians who do the Nutcracker performances. They are going to be performing live on the stage of the Princess Theatre in Hunstanton. We've got a whole range of new initiatives, including, and this is going to be using Zoom actually, we will be broadcasting into care homes, and we will be experimenting with having what we call taster concerts for the older children in primary schools. They will get, a proper 45-minute concert demanding a bit more concentration and effort from them, and we will be encouraging the children to prepare with the help of their teachers for what's coming. Our plans are almost endless.
When I spoke to you before, you said you were hoping to give other people the opportunity of making up a personal request via Zoom to a loved one for a special occasion.
Anybody listening to this programme, for example, can get in touch with Classical Music Rocks, and we can arrange for a musician to Zoom in to their own homes and other people in other homes on a link, and they can enjoy these musicians perform live, to be able to interact with them. We've had a few trials of this, and it has worked exceedingly well. We're also hoping to have these pre-recorded concerts, because we believe that what we do in talking to children, helping to understand classical music, is special. You can't pick this up anywhere off the internet. It just doesn't exist. So we think we can offer something through our pre-recorded concerts with the tremendous musicians that we have able to work for. Classical Music Rocks only exists because we are supported in our local community by individuals and organisations. We've got a couple of important patrons, Louis de Bernières, brilliant author, and Lord Bellingham. So we're pleased to have their support. But, money is in short supply. It always is. But if you think about a few £100, or should I say $300 probably, that can bring classical musicians to several hundred children. But we need the support from West Norfolk, within the UK and around the world. And I'm sufficiently egotistical to think that we can offer something beyond, how can I put it, the shores of West Norfolk.
If you're interested in learning more about Classical Music Rocks, check out the links in the description below.